Good day, hello scientists. Hope you all are having a beautiful day. It's your favorite sensei here, Sensei Mohab. And on today's lesson, we will be dealing with prelim question 5 of 2024 prelim gauteng. So if you are new to the family, please press the subscribe button down there below and also that notification bell. Whenever I post a new lesson, you'll be updated. And welcome to the club. Welcome, my disciple. So yeah, hope you enjoy the lesson and yeah, enjoy.
So 5.1 says the point P lies in the Cartesian plane. Determine the coordinates of the image of P if it's rotated about the origin 90 degrees in an anti-clockwise direction. So now let's try to draw the Cartesian plane. So now if this point, let's say it's somewhere here, point P, so if it's reflected, rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise, remember that clockwise is in this direction, right? And anti-clockwise it's the opposite of that, it's the other way, which means we'll be going this side. So now anti-clockwise, which means 90 degrees, which means it's reflected in this way. It was, let's say for example, in quadrant 1, now it will be in quadrant 2. So now if it's reflected in this way, in the side, it's gonna be, remember when we're doing rotation, the coordinates will swap. The x will become y and y will become x. Yet here it will become negative x because of, remember, in the side x it's positive in x-axis and x is negative here, and 2, which was our x-intercept, will now become our y-intercept. So now the new coordinates of P are these ones. So this is how we do it. Easy one, this one. Let's move to the next question. So now the next question says the graph of h of x is equals to a squared. H of x here is a squared, and a of x is negative 1 and half. Sorry guys for this sound outside, it's very windy outside. Yeah, so that's why I apologize on that. So it says the graph h of x, it's the one that is sketched here. We have a point which is 0.8, so this one is negative 1 is to half, which is a point on graph h of x. So now substitute y there. Coordinate of q, y-intercept is h of y. So remember, when they say substitute, let's try to do this thing by substitution. So now, let's say we are given h of x, and we know that it's x and it's y. So now, let's do this. So now, whenever, remember, since the x is 0, you still remember this rule whenever you're in grade 10 and doing this laws of exponents, that any number or any base to the power 0, the answer will give us a 1. So now remember, now whenever we say to the power 0, a to the power 0, the answer here will get 1. So that is why whenever the coordinates of q are substituted, the x coordinate, it will give us 1 as an answer for the y coordinate. So that's why the coordinates are like this. Remember this rule, whenever you make any number to the power 0, the answer will be 1. Sorry about that. the answer will give will give us 1 as 1. So remember, it's this rule of algebra. When we did this when we were in grade 10, grade 8, it's more or less the same as that. So it's just you explaining this rule. Let's go to the next question. So now remember, this question says write down the equation of the inverse of the function of h in the form of y. So now remember, now the graph was like this, and let's try to first find the equation of it. We had a point which we were given a, which was minus 1 to the power half. So let's try substituting. It's a, it's y, it's x. So remember now this will be to the power negative 1, a to the power negative 1, and a will be equals to 2. So now the equation of this h of x function, so it will be a 2 to the power x. So this is the new function. So now that's why when it comes to that other 0 and 1, whenever we say 2 to the power 0, it will still give us, you see, more or less the same thing. So now let's try doing this question here. So now remember, if now our question says that let me try to erase this because we already did, we found the new equation which we know that it is h of x equals to 2 to the power x. So writing this format, this reversal function or inverse function, so remember this is how we're gonna do it. So first we swap x and y, we write this in terms of y, remove this h of x, swap this, it's x, and 2 to the power y, and from here we try to do logarithm. So it's log 2 in base of x. So this is how we are gonna do it. So this is how we do it. So now let's go move to the next question. Let's try to change the color. It is this, so that they won't be confusing. So it's 5.2.4. So sketch the function of indicates 2 points that lie on there. Okay, which means we draw, okay, we sketch the function, the inverse function, and indicate 2 points that lie on it. So now let's try to, let me try finding a new page. Oh, let me just erase this. So the function reversal is log h2. So we should try to do this. So remember now, when it comes to the log and this thing, since the equations, is an inverse, so which means we can also try to use the previous or other points. This one, and also the other one, they didn't tell us whether it's point B or point C. Let's just use point B. It's 0 and 1. You still remember that one? Or when they say substitute this equation. So now we can try to use this one. So now remember, now since this was the inverse, we just swap x and y. It's like a rotation, maybe. No, not, yeah, more or less like rotation, but we just swap in x and y. The x will be half and minus 1 will be our y, and here it will be 1 is to 0. So it's easy for us to do this. Instead of just trying to find a lot of equations, so a lot of coordinates, it's unnecessary. That's why they only mentioned 2 points. Let me change the color. So let me change the color to blue. So since this is an inverse, so it's minus half and 1. Okay, so minus half, let's say it's almost like, let's say this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So minus half will be here. So it's minus half and negative 1, let's say here, and also it's 1 and 0 here. So those are the coordinates, and yeah, let's now sketch. So this is how we sketch it. Remember the other one? Okay, let me try to do the previous one. It's and let me try to plot it in the same coordinate, same graph. So remember, these 2 are important, which is this one, the x-intercept, and also the y, and the other point. These 2 are very important. So now let me try to do it on the plain page. So yeah, whenever we're doing this, it's gonna be, let's say it's negative 1.5, it's here, half and negative 1, and negative 1 and positive, and 1 is 0 here. So it's gonna be like this. Yeah, it will not touch there. This, because of it mustn't touch the y-axis. So yeah, it mustn't touch the y-axis. It mustn't touch the y-axis, just remember it, because of it's an inverse graph. And extend this one. Goes a very long way, and remember, it mustn't touch the axis. So I made a mistake here. So let's go to the next question. So our final last question says, the price P, price per units of each item, consignment of Q items is given by P log 10 Q plus 2. Calculate the value of P and the total price of the consignments when the consignments have 1,980 items. Okay, let's try to do it. Here says sketch or read from the graph of f of x where graph log 2x it's less than, also it's greater than negative 1. So now let's go to the graph. Here they say they want whereby the graph of log, the inverse graph is greater than negative 1. So they want the x value. So remember, where the graph is greater than negative 1, it's from this side here, the third side, up until infinity, positive infinity. So, but they want the x-intercept, they want the x values. So we know that from this point here, 2 is negative 1, till positive infinity, it will be greater than negative 1. Sorry about that. From this point here, going forward, it will be greater than negative 1. So, yet they want x value. So remember, for you to do it like this, from x up until positive infinity, you can just do it like this, from element of real numbers Since it's not included, let me just do this one. Half to the positive infinity, it will be greater than negative 1. So yeah, that's right. So let's proceed to the next one. Let me just erase everything here since we're not gonna use it. Okay, so 2.6, 5.2.6. Let's take a look now. So let's do the next question. It says where g of x. Okay, so if g of x is equals to 100 multiplied by 3 to the power x, so g of x is equals to, the equation is, and each of x, the previous one will be 2 and x. So they want the point of intersection. So this is how we're gonna do this thing. Very easy, this one. So now I know most may be confused. So how are we gonna do this if the bases are not the same? So remember. So first of all, let's try to shift this to the other side. So we just wanna divide by it on both sides. Divide by it on both sides. This will cancel each other out. So now here on the side we have 2 over 3 to the power x, both of them to the power x. And you still remember that rule of algebra whereby if we say 1 over 4, for example, to the power x, it means that everything is equal to the power x. So it's more or less the same as this. So we're basically gonna do that just now. So now, which means it's gonna be 2 over 3, all of them to the power x, because of it's the same now. So now it's easy for us to do a logarithm now. For the inverse, so it's gonna be log base 2 over 300 is equals to x. So we punch this in the calculator, it will give us the answer of the point of intersection. It's gonna be answer will be this. So rounded off, it's gonna be 11,36, which will negative 11,36. This will be our answer. So this is how basically do this type of questions, and it was very nice doing this session with you. Please press the subscribe button down there below if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, and share this video to as many friends, cousins, classmates as you can. And from me, your favorite sensei, it's a good night. Bye bye.